yourself on the floor. When the man with the power and the dollar says you ain't worth a cent, and your wings won't fly and your words won't flow. You can't force a smile and they won't leave you alone. I see the light in you, let it shine again. 'Cause you were born for the fire, raised by the storm, braver together, loud and fun. Heart full of country, soul full of grit. We don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. Oh, we don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. I know a woman with a lion's heart and a pretty blue dress with a shopping cart. Head full of dreams, gonna change the world. Got a body of work they say won't sell, and a way with words which she won't tell. I see the light in you, let it shine again. 'Cause you were born for the fire, raised by the storm, braver together, loud and fun. Heart full of country, soul full of grit. We don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. Hey, we don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. We don't. Good morning, Patriot family. It's been a while. We have both been very, very busy, and so we're sorry. We apologize for the consistent reruns there. But hi, how are you doing? We hope we are having a fantastic day today. Hi, Shirley.
Yes, absolutely. And we're moving to a new time, guys. We might catch us. I don't know if we're still doing the 11 o'clock, but we're moving to a later time, more in the evening, which is kind of fun because we get to, I don't know, I feel like we get to cover some of the things that maybe happened throughout the day. We'll catch you on the other side of your day. So, Allie, you've been extremely busy. Working on a campaign is taxing, especially when we're creeping up on the general election. So kind of exciting. We know who the conservative candidate is for governor here in Florida. It's Byron Donald. So excited to see.
I swear they should like make me the MC because I like totally have a great MC voice. Like we've done that a few times and everyone loves us and they want to invite us back because it like literally sounds like we're introducing people for like, I don't know. It's weird. I like it though.
But you could do, I've told you this before, you could do voiceovers. You have that.
I should look into that actually.
Voiceover voice. I have.
So I don't know if it's
guys,
morning or when we're doing this, but hi, how are you? Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for joining Pocket Live.
Which means, did we get to have something else in our cup?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you could guess.
Kind of like General Flynn. Allie, what's in that coffee cup? Oh my God.
Freedom.
We've got so much to talk about. We both sound like we're losing our voice, Miha.
I know. It's I don't know what it is. It like keeps coming back. I'm like, go away, go away, go away. Stop getting your flu shot. You're making everybody else sick. It's not flu season. It's flu shot season. For crying out loud.
Right. Injecting yourself with it. That makes sense. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We have a packed lineup. We're going to talk a little bit about the Fauci advisor that's already pled guilty. It's just the first domino to fall. Also, not sure if you've heard this, the video that's leaked, which describes the Democrat Socialists of America Manifesto. And they come out and say the quiet part out loud. Plus Nick Shirley on the streets of California. You're not going to believe what they wanted to talk to him about. And it's got really nothing to do with politics. It's pretty sick. So much more, guys. You're not going to go anywhere. So I guess let's go ahead and open the mic.
All right, let's open that mic. Get out of pocket.
Two queens, no filter. Say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real. Politics, family, yeah, we go there. If it's out of line, we don't care. It's out of pocket. It's out of pocket.
I do want to say though, before we get like really started, is that like I've literally had when I post to Facebook, and it's only Facebook,
and it's my personal account, not like a political account. I have to post. If I make a post, reels are fine. But if I make a post, I have to make it to where nobody comments.
Because people are ridiculous, right?
Are unhinged. Like, it has gotten so bad. And like it's terrible. I'm like, can y'all get a grip, please? I'm just gonna start passing out like Valium or I don't know, THC drinks. Like, y'all need some stress relief because this is wild. Go touch some
It is.
grass.
Do you think, because I've experienced this now post-election, like, do you think some, I mean, is some of it bot accounts? Because some of them, you go to their page to try to see, I don't know.
These are people that like I know or thought I knew. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's like people that are like within the community, within like the circle. And it's like, wow. Because in 2022 and 2024, I think it was 24, when DeSantis was elected the second time, everybody was trying to figure out who they were going to choose as the next governor of Florida. And literally every room I was in and every conversation I had, they all said Byron Donalds. But now that he has run and now that he has won the primary, it's like it has been a complete unleashing of just hatred. And I'm like, and here's all it's coming from.
Here's the thing too, and I think you and I've talked about this. You've got these never Donalds people. Think about the never Trumpers, okay? And these are the people that pointed at the never Trumpers and were like, "See, you're not MAGA. This is the way the party's moving, and you're not coming with, so you're a rhino." Now you've got those same people being never Donalds people. So I've been asking the question every time I see one of those pretty little posts about never voting for Donalds. I'm like, okay, he's the candidate. He's the Republican candidate in the state of Florida in the general. So you're just not voting? No, I'm not voting. I'm going to leave that blank.
You're really?
Great. So you'd rather vote Democrat because
that's and it's not even Democrat.
Right.
You'd rather vote socialist. You'd rather vote communist. You'd rather vote to have and upend everything we've worked 8 years for. The protection of our bodily autonomy, the protection of our medical keeping us like MAHA, right? Like no vaccine mandates, no
all the parental rights.
All the parental rights, all the education. We're just gonna all the no transing of kids, all of that. We're just gonna get rid of all of that. That's it. No illegal aliens running around the state, capturing all of the sex traffickers and people that are abusing children. We're just gonna. That's it. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because there is no one better than Byron Donalds, who literally has worked with the man in DC about how to properly secure our border, how to properly work with ICE, how to properly, you know what I mean? Like, he has so much experience on the congressional level, and he used to serve in the state. We only have nation freedom because he was one of the first people to vote for it and push it forward.
I mean, and the bottom line is, and you can say what you want. I mean, I don't have to always like the results. I definitely didn't like the results on Tuesday, but he won.
That's it.
So you're gonna pick up your ball and go home?
I mean,
or
it's like Trump won. I know a lot of y'all wanted DeSantis to win, but Trump won. Did you sit that one out? This is the free state of Florida, y'all. And we cannot give an inch. We already lost school boards, which is absolutely insane to me.
It is insane. Mail-in ballots. Why couldn't we have gotten the Save America Act done quicker? Makes you wonder.
So honestly, sis, I don't even think it's that. What I think is there needs to be three things. Either we need to have more of a push for Republicans to get mail-in ballots, which they're not going to do because they don't trust the process. 2, we need to either make early voting like mail-in and make that, if we're going to have early voting for 2 weeks, like mail-in ballots, we need to have early in-person voting for 2 weeks, not just one day. Or we can make it a federal holiday. But even then, or not a federal holiday, a state holiday, whatever.
State holiday, right?
But even then, you have people that will miss the deadline to go vote, because a lot of times I heard this time, I think it was like yesterday, 2 days ago, I was out working and was approached a few times that their precinct had changed last minute and they didn't
Yes, that happened here
polls
too.
right away. So
Yes.
I'm like, again, there needs to be somebody with some cojones in the state legislature that will put up a bill to make early in-person voting the same time as early mail-in ballots.
Right. So we had about 10 days of early voting here in the state of Florida.
Yep.
But you're right. Mail-in voting was like 16 days. I agree. I agree with you. I'm one of those people that like, I don't like voting season.
Yeah, I
But
don't
we
like it
have
either.
such a low turnout, even with giving people a month almost to vote. We
Yeah,
have such a low voter
it's a low
turnout, guys.
turnout.
You think
And
of the
people
free
are
state of
spending so
Florida
much
and this
money.
beautiful, in this beautiful red state, maybe 30% turnout. And everybody keeps pointing their fingers, Allie, back at the party, that it's the party's job and the party's responsibility. I'm going to say, as a party endorsed candidate, I was shocked at the help that the party gave.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not enough. Maybe it needs to be more. Maybe somebody needs to really look into that. But I did not feel not supported. Now, was it financial? No, but I mean, they had phone bankers, door knockers. I mean,
Oh. I think
I don't
too,
know.
it's
It
local
just,
communities, local clubs as well. Like if you are
yeah.
calling yourself a club within the community and you don't have people that are willing to volunteer and they just show up to do this, you're just a social club.
But I honestly, Allie, and this is why I'm scratching my head about this, because they were the ones that showed up for me. They were
Mhm.
the ones that they were at every fundraiser. They donated out of their own pocket.
Yeah.
When I needed signs put up, when I needed signs taken down, like these are people that have day jobs and that
Yeah.
are, they've got other lives too. And when I tell you, I personally felt supported.
Oh, that's so good.
So it makes me scratch my head. Like I don't know. And it's
I
very
know.
difficult to raise money in a school board seat, I'm finding. Like,
No, but
anyway,
even
all
yeah, all
this,
right, we'll get
we
off that.
lullabied Zach to sleep.
Yeah, well, or our audience. Congratulations to everyone that won their primary. We wish you luck going into the general. Yes. Moving on.
Well, yes. So there's been some fun in the White House press room. Obviously, we know Caroline Leavitt is on her way out, but two major country stars. So this is near and dear to my heart. Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean. They made a stop at the White House press briefing room. Let's take a look.
Screwworms are screwed. We've immobilized sterile male flies.
Luke, good job.
Hey!
They're joking around. It's always
They're
fun
so
to
silly.
see. At first, when I saw this, I'm like, wait a minute, is Trump going country with his next press secretary? I don't know. It's gonna be hard to fill Caroline Leavitt's shoes, definitely.
I think Chad Caton should take it.
You've been saying that. We've got a Chad Caton asset, the very last one we're gonna use today. But the question is real though, guys. Who
Yeah, who's gonna
is going
fill
to potentially
I don't know.
know.
Chime in below and let
think
us know who you think it'll be, because we are clueless.
We are, well, in many fronts apparently, but one of the names that has circulated is Alina Habba. I'll go ahead and there was a Fox News piece. Let's go ahead and play it and then we'll get your response.
From the president out of the White House, he just announced that Caroline Leavitt will be leaving her role as press secretary at the end of the month so that she can spend more time with her beautiful young children and family. As the president says, he says that she will now be one of my top outside advisors, no doubt.
Good.
Okay, so the post here that I'm looking at says that one of them that's emerging as a front runner is Alina Habba. She was a former attorney and Trump advisor that before. So she's always had his back. And one of the things we know about Trump is that he really is big on loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Bullets is big for him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Actually, if I'm sorry, this just made me think of this because we were talking about congressional candidate Sidney Gruters before the show. Ellie and I were discussing this, but people would say, you know, how did Joe Gruters become the RNC chair? But if you go back, especially in the Sarasota area where Joe Gruters is from, he had Trump's back like 2 years before Trump announced he was running for president. Like there was a broship like forming, you know what I mean? And he's always been there. So I think sometimes when you're in that position, that's what you look for, is somebody that
But
you know is
I
always got your back.
honestly, I think too, like it's because politics is such a blood sport, having people around you that are loyal, that you can trust, that are a vault is so important. It is so important because you can't there's a lot of things that are discussed in these meetings, whether it's a staff meeting or a personal meeting, or if it's like just
Yeah.
conversation. Like there is so much that's discussed, and you have to be able to have people in your circle, especially your inner tight circle, that one can give you good advice, two is not a yes man, three is loyal is all get out and will not expose you for anything, or like divulge pertinent or personal information
Yeah.
just to get a paycheck or just for them to get their name in the headlines, because I mean that's only for 30 seconds, right? Or for a minute or
You're
for a
right.
day, depending on who it is or what it is. So and it is so important for you to have good people in your circle. I mean, the Bible talks about this. um so
That's
it's
so
it's
true, Allie. It is. And I think sometimes we've learned that just in what we're doing, that you've got to keep your circle does shrink. And so I would think on that national scale, somebody like Trump, that's why something like that's so important to him. Another person, guys, that's being pushed around as a possibility to replace Caroline Leavitt is Scott Jennings. How much have
nice.
we enjoyed him being
Oh yeah.
on CNN? And that's one of the things too. It says here, that, okay, I don't know how true this is. I don't know, but as far as what he said here, would prefer a man to fill the position. I don't know. I can't really see the president saying that, but Scott Jennings, his odds did shoot up 37% when his name was toted around. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm not gonna pretend that we
that's the betting market. So you never know with the betting market. The betting market is not actually congruent to what is reality. So okay, so
Oh
Alina
wow. Okay,
Habba
so
is saying she's not gunning for it. But I think Scott Jennings would be a perfect fit for it. I mean, we love seeing him on CNN and completely crushing the false narrative that is being spewed out of those
yeah.
people. Um, I don't know if they're just low IQ or just can't understand what is really going on. So I like that he's able to just divulge and dispel some of the things that they're coming up with. That's not true.
Yeah.
So I think that would be interesting. I'd like to see him.
Well, and one of the things when we, not to go back to Byron McDonald's, but he is going to be a source of conversation in the show. At the last event, it was funny because to hear Joe Gruters, introduce him and say, he's one of the few that does go on CNN. He does go on MSNBC, and throughout Trump's last campaign running for president, he doesn't shy away. And I think that's why Scott Jennings would be somebody that would be great for it, because he doesn't shy away from
Mhm.
that circle.
I mean, what other representative do you see going on Charlemagne the God to dispel what it's like national black radio.
Yep.
Most listeners are Democrats, right?
Yeah.
And Byron goes on there all the time, and it's like he's able to speak to a larger audience and help them understand what is true and what's not. He breaks down like what the facts are with the Trump administration and what they're doing in Congress. And I think it's that he has an amazing way of doing that, and not everybody can do that. I mean, he does it on like you said, CNN, and Joe Gruters said that as well. So it's like it's who else would you better want to be in a position that has to dispel fake news? I mean, he traveled the
Right.
entire United States to get Black and Hispanic people to vote for Trump that have never before.
Trump.
I mean, he's even got
And you've got
Stephen A.
Yeah.
Smith, who most likely is a Republican anyway because of how he thinks.
anyway. Let's just
But is talking about, Donald's could be one to actually turn him to a Republican. And that's kind of the point. You want someone that is able to bring you back over to common sense. It's not difficult. No, we don't want to change our boys to girls. No, we don't want to change our girls to boys. No, we don't want boys playing in girl sports. I'm sorry. That's just not how we're doing things. No, we don't want, radical Islamists running around our state trying to behead everybody that they don't agree with. So it's just
we're
common
not
sense.
doing that.
It's common sense.
We're not doing this.
No, and
Well-
we completely made history. We have is it the first gubernatorial candidate for governor, like gubernatorial candidate endorsed or like chosen by the GOP?
By a president. That's interesting.
Black, y'all. Like, where are all the liberal crazies who are like,
Florida's so racist. The
And
Republicans
he
are
won
so racist.
overwhelmingly.
how?
This is why everybody thinks you should do voiceovers, ma'am.
Okay.
'Cause we just You guys want a little Fauci for your day today? I mean, I could live without that rat bastard. But anyway, Dr. I think his name's David Morans. Guys, he's a former Fauci advisor. He pled guilty in the COVID-19 scheme. What scheme are we talking about? Well, he was the senior advisor for the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. I had to think about the acronym. But he's pled guilty to a charge, I guess, Allie, that's like from a scheme to hide federal records during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Oh,
Nothing to see here.
wow. I've
He
been
pled
stuck
guilty
in
to
campaign
one count
land.
of, let me see if I can,
You're gonna find
one
it.
count of conspiracy to commit offenses and to defraud the United States. No
Wow.
biggie.
Wow. I've been
And
stuck
for
in.
all that, he only faces up to 5 years in prison.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, he needs to get hooked in Florida. We're sending people away for like decades for defrauding the Floridian people. Thank you, Blazing Goglia, who also won his primary.
Won his prime.
Thank God, y'all. Seriously, how are we going against the guy who is literally doging our state? Like, what is wrong with you? Anyway, sorry.
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
sorry. Not really.
It's
This is
frustrating.
crazy. I've been stuck in campaign land, so I haven't really been up to date on news, but wow, that's insane.
And so people are saying, because he pled guilty, how much more information is he going to potentially? This is what you need. You need the people close. And they've had this with whistleblowers. The people close basically feel comfortable now coming out and saying what their role was. They want some protection or immunity to be able to rat things out. But should be interesting. Should be interesting. Well, guys, I don't want you guys to go anywhere because in the second half of the show, we're going to talk more about the Democrat Socialists of America, which seems to be, Democrats, I don't know what the hell you all did, but you just like abdicated your entire party to these crazies. They're saying the quiet part out loud. Plus, we'll get into Nick Shirley and the inappropriateness of what they're attacking him for now. So don't go anywhere. We'll have a quick word from Liberty Cigars. We'll be right back.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OpenMic for 10% off your order.
promo code open mic. Let them know that the out of pocket ladies sent you there. Allie, we still have a lot to celebrate. I have to for our viewers that don't know, I ran for school board. We were not successful, and unfortunately, we lost the majority of our conservative school board. So we'll buckle up and see what we're in store for here. But it's important to look at. We had a lot of victories as far as a state, statewide. I don't know how somebody like Blaise and Goglia gets a primary challenger. I know we were talking about that a little bit. Primaries are healthy, and I get them. I get it. But sometimes it's like, what do you have to do in order to make people happy? And I guess there's times, especially in the world of politics, where nobody's happy.
I almost felt like Abraham Quintanilla. What are you thinking of? Because, like, those of you that have never seen those of you have never
look at it.
Yeah, I've never seen Selena. Go see it. Because that's what we do here. We songs and movies. But it is just, what the hell are you thinking? Like, the man is like literally doing everything he can to Doge and find wasteful, like, theft, fraud, and abuse in the state. Like, the only state to do it, the first state to do it, and wants to continue to do it. He wants to Doge our school boards, y'all, because they've gone completely batshit. Like, they've taken all of the COVID money and have not put any of it into education, but have given it to administration. Like, why do we not have a storage closet in every school that has all of the supplies that the teachers will need throughout the rest of the year? Why are parents who can't rub pennies together in this economy, or in the last, 12 years, afford school supplies?
Yeah.
What? We've taken millions of dollars.
It's kind of like how we
interrupting you. We have a school board budget here in Hillsborough County that is bigger than the Secret Service budget of the United States. And we don't have a storage closet for every teacher to get printer paper.
I laugh, but it's not funny, because it's kind of how we consider our healthcare system here in this country. We spend more per person on healthcare, and yet in a lot of ways we're the sickest and the most disease ridden. We cause the problem, and it's sad and it's sick. Allie, one of the things that came across as I was prepping for the show is, and we hate to go back, I don't want to always go back to the Biden administration, but I don't know if people are really aware at how much during the Biden administration they had to willfully try to do the wrong thing. And I only say that because anytime you have a Democrat leftist stronghold, it's not just that we don't agree on policy or politics anymore. Many of them seek to intentionally do something that will purposefully try to see the demise of our nation and our culture. That happened very strongly during the Biden administration. I want you guys to listen to this brief story. This is Laura Logan. If you're not following her, independent journalist, you need to. She's talking about the DNA tests that they would do when they're trying to reunite these unaccompanied minors with family members. Take a listen.
And the ones that break your heart are where there's one or two men, and then you see women's shoes, and then you see 5 to 15 kids.
Yeah.
And in the old days, when we catch those groups of kids, you hand them over, they go to Fleet Sea detention centers, you think they're all saved. They're going to be reunited with their families. What we didn't know back then is they were just getting rolled back into child trafficking.
Yeah.
And when Donald Trump came in his first time into office, he put in these DNA test biometrics. So if you came in and said, hey, that's Maria and Jose, those are my kids, I want to get them out, instead of just handing them over like they did in the old days, you had to take a DNA test. If your DNA didn't match, you weren't getting those kids. Guess what they threw out in the first?
Yeah, the DNA test.
Yeah, when Biden came in, yeah.
And all the other checks as well.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? That's what America needs to be asking.
That's from Going Rogue with Laura Logan. She's a fireball.
Yeah, I mean, great question. Why would you do that? The only answer to that is to perpetuate child trafficking. Like, but who are the customers? That's so, and this is another thing that I'm having an issue with as well. Is like, yes, we can go after consumers of child trafficking, but what about those that are supplying? You have supply and demand, right? Supply and consumption. If you
Yeah.
are only going after the consumer of something illegal, you're not capturing who is supplying it to the consumer, and that is what's most
Right.
important. If you are going after those who are supplying it, then you essentially cut the head off the snake, right? And it's a
Well,
deterrent.
and we know this better than anybody as a capitalistic society. Like we should understand this better than anybody. But it's the perfect example of why who you elect and the ideology that they align with, why that is so important. I think people think because we live in this political world, you and I, it's like, oh my gosh, all you do is politics. Well, everything revolves around something political, because if you get the wrong people in office, you could have the right people in office for 4 years. Donald Trump, first term, did the right thing, created made DNA testing a mandate to release children to family members. 4 years later, Biden undoes it. Like all of you that sat out because you didn't get, you didn't like Trump the second time around or whatever. It doesn't, you're not helping anything, because it's so easy to undo what's been done for 2 years or for 4 years or for 6 years.
And
It's
I'm
easy to undo with the swipe of a pen.
Sis, I'm gonna bring it right back to Florida. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bring it right back here to our home state, because that's exactly what's going to happen if we do not get out and vote in November. Is we're going to upend every single thing that we have done. And a lot of people are like, oh, it'll be a stop loss because of the legislature. No, governors have executive order powers. How do you think we were able to get to open our state? An executive order. How do you think we were able to financially punish the counties that were not complying to the executive order? The powers within the governorship.
Yeah.
If you have a liberal governor, if you have a socialist governor with a Republican legislature, there's nothing the legislature can really do once there are executive orders in place. The governor is able to sanction counties for not complying to executive orders. We saw it in 2020. We saw it in 2022. We saw it in 2024 with ICE and different counties and mayors. We saw that. So get off of your moral compass. Now, and I'm not saying that in a way that is like, we need to just forget our morals. What I'm saying is, you're throwing rocks and you live in a glass house. You are not a perfect person. Nobody in the elected office is a perfect person, but we have a state that we need to remain free. And in order to do that, we cannot put a socialist governor in office, regardless.
And Allie, you and I both know, because
who is in the place.
Right. We've both worked with the state legislature. We love you here in the state of Florida, but even getting sometimes certain people to the right side of an issue is an overhaul. I don't think that we're not easily swayed. And I think when you think about that, the governor has the end all be all swipe of a pen. He approves the budget. He approves their pet projects in your district. He has an overwhelming amount of power. And I'm sorry, I must say it. Look at what DeSantis did when he knew he was going to run for president. He needed them to undo state legislation in order to make it possible for him to hold a state office and run for a federal office. And he used the power of the veto pen at the end of a legislative session when they needed the budget approved to basically say, you're going to undo of course, this is conjecture. You're not going to find a quote of him saying this, but this is how it played out. They undid that policy for him to be able to run. And after he lost the presidential primary, they put it back in place. So you're right. Nobody's perfect, including a state legislature. You do not want to give that executive pen to somebody who even remotely resembles the new Democrat Socialists of America.
Ugh, it's so gross. It's so gross. If it can happen at the federal level, it's most definitely possible at the state level. And this is what happens when you don't understand proper roles of government. And that's why you're here. at out of pocket.
Absolutely, to get that knowledge. Well, the Democrat Socialists of America Committee, so they're kind of, yeah, it is a thing, y'all. A DSA is a thing. They come out and said what they view as their main obstacle and why they need a revolution. Listen to their own words.
Goal. So the two things that we're famous for is our commitment to a program and our hatred of the United States Constitution. And what the program does is it gives us a roadmap to revolution, and it gives us the obstacle that we finally will have to get over to have a revolution, which is the United States Constitution, the basis of the United States government. And
Why do you hate the United States Constitution?
While living in the United States.
Right. Like, I don't understand. It codifies God-given rights and it separates powers. So what? This is what happens.
Because they're all in their parents' basement. And I forget what I was watching the other day, but they were like, listen, we've said this before. If you want to see what socialism and communism looks like, board a plane, and there are places in the world that you can currently go. Maybe you can do it as a sabbatical, whatever. You could fundraise. Maybe you could crowdfund, to get crowdfunding sources so that you can, be able to afford it. Go to these places and see why they would kill to come to our country. And people will say, well, that's because socialism's never been done right. You will accept the fact that there's been less than perfect socialist parts of the world, but you won't accept the fact that we have a capitalist form here in this country that's also not always perfect. Like what?
You're just lazy. You're just lazy and have no motivation. That's what it is. You're lazy, and you want everyone to work to give you a handout.
Somebody said to me the other day, you vote your way unbeknowingly into socialism and you shoot your way out of it.
Yeah, 100%. You've said that before. You can vote yourself in. You can't vote yourself out of it.
But you can't vote yourself out. But he said shoot yourself out. And I thought,
you do. You got to fight. You got to fight your way out. And it'll be ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And people are, that's what they're asking for. They want to completely dismantle the West, which is the United States, because we are the only beacon of freedom. Israel is, but they don't do it right either. And they're surrounded by insanity. Literally insanity. So, and what's interesting about some of the crowd is like, oh, well, there's people that take AIPAC money. Okay, so would you rather have someone take money from the Islamic Brotherhood? That is a terrorist organization? Because which one would you rather have? And honestly, when you raise $100 million plus, that's 75 grand that AIPAC gave that's not what is grabbing him or anyone by the cojones and steering them in a way that they need to go. That's not how that works.
Allie, you don't control who donates to you as a candidate. There's a link. There's a mailing address. You don't even touch, as a big candidate statewide, you don't even touch the check when it comes in. The thing that you watch, if you
don't even see it,
everybody wants to be behind a winner. And they probably do want to buy favor. I'm not saying that doesn't happen.
Oh,
yes. What you watch is when the person's elected, are they only answering the phone for certain people and doing certain, you can tell, you'll be able to tell in the first 6 months.
I can tell you certain ones are not.
But no,
ask Michelle and I how we know. How many times have we been in Congress up there? How many times have we been to Tallahassee?
Lots.
Do you donate regularly to any of these folks? No.
Me personally, no.
No. Personally? No.
Do they answer the phone?
Yes. Yes, they do.
Do they make meetings?
Yes. Yes, they do. It's about building relationships. It's not always about money. A lot of times they hate sitting in rooms with lobbyists. They can't stand it. But they do it. They do
Well,
it.
and it
A lot of times they get out
and
of those
again,
meetings and they're like, F this guy, F that company. I'm not doing that. I don't care what they say. I don't care how much money they give. I'm not doing it. It's about the integrity of the person that is sitting in the office.
yes. And if I'm a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar company, this is what they do. They donate to campaigns. They donate to organizations.
I
They
wish y'all
donate
were
to
so upset.
nonprofits.
I wish y'all would be this upset about pharma. But you mad
Yep.
about
Wish you
APAC.
would.
And APAC's not even Israel. It's a bunch of Americans. Like, what are we talking about?
I know.
You're not mad at
Well,
the
guys,
NAACP for supporting socialism and communism and Islamism.
well, yeah, that's true.
Right. So
Ali, somebody that's talking thankfully about Islamists and trying to wave the red flag here in our churches is Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell. He's from 2819 Church, which is out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Yep.
He had a pretty interesting conversation, and I love that social media allows this stuff to get out, because otherwise, how else would you see it? That's why I want to share it here on Out of Pocket and then get your response, Ali. Let's take a look.
And we see people in America dancing in the streets asking for Sharia.
Right.
Okay. Right. Let's put those same people on a plane.
Yes, sir.
Women. And send them to a country where Sharia is law. And let's see how long they last in those nations where Sharia is law. They'll be begging to come back to the United States. Right. And I think it's our false sense of tolerance and our ignorant inclusion that is allowing the hostile takeover of that radical ideology. And so we're living at the end. And I would even go so far as to say, this also too prophesies about the end, right? There is a scene in the book of Revelation where there is an innumerable amount of believers who have been saved. They are now in glory. And the scripture says these are those who have been beheaded for the testimony of Christ, right? Beheaded for the testimony of Christ. There is an ideology that decapitates the head of men, right? I believe that ideology, the radical Islam, will be the faith to persecute Christians in the end. I believe that eventually they will take over the whole world. And I believe during that time, the Antichrist will come to power. It will not surprise me if he will be Islamic himself. And then if we read the scriptures very carefully, I do believe that it is radical Islam that is the manifestation of those end time scriptures about the decapitation of the heads of believers, right? And so to some degree, we are watching God's ending plan unfold. But that doesn't mean that we should be complicit and quiet at the same time. I think we have a moral, a biblical, and spiritual responsibility to be bold heralds of the gospel, to sound the alarm, and to do all we can to bring as many people aboard the ark of safety as possible before time is run out, before the end has come, before we enter into those final days. Although the scriptures are being fulfilled, that doesn't mean we should be silent. We should be out there doing God's work.
So that's scary. But it's factual. Pastor Josh Howerton actually speaks about this as well. He has a podcast. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but if you type in Josh Howerton on YouTube, you can find it. He does this interview with a historian who reveals what really happened during the Crusades. And it's Raymond Ibrahim, who is, I mean, he's like prior service, like he's, really a linguist. Like he was one of the ones that was blowing the whistle before it was really popular. I think it was before 9/11, where he actually came across letters that was written by Osama bin Laden that were to Al-Qaeda. And it was a different version of what the news media was saying. So he would write letters to the news media and explain like, oh, they were come in peace, blah, blah, blah. But then he would write letters to heads of Al Qaeda and say something completely different, like, "Oh, Americans are stupid," and this and that. Guys, this is important for us to know. And he goes deeper into the Book of Revelations and how it's very synonymous to what we're currently seeing right now, and how there are these other 47 countries that are Islamic or Muslim were Christian nations. This is a conquering mindset. It's not a religion. It is a battle book. It is a military book of conquering, and it's been widely successful the way that they've gone about conquering nations, and they use.
And I can remember there was a what's the name of that pastor again, Alex? I want to make sure that our viewers follow him.
Pastor Josh Howerton. He was actually on Sean Ryan, and he kind of talks about this as well on Sean Ryan's show. So I think the more that you listen to it, the more you watch, like these pastors talk about this, the more you kind of get an understanding. But also, don't just take their word for it. Open the book, read it,
and then get it in your community and be active in your community to not allow this. Because I remember going way back when I did a thesis paper in my first time around in college on Malcolm X, and because everybody was telling me what a horrendous person he was, and I'm like, anytime, what do you do as a kid or a teenager or a young adult, and somebody's like, no, don't do that, you're like, I gotta go see what this is now. So, and I remembered finding out, just how much he changed in his last couple months of life to really not buy into what we would call then the Muslim Brotherhood. I think that they had a different name for them then, but he didn't want any part of that dark side of it, and he was assassinated by his own people for that. But
which is what they're allowed to do.
Because part of what he instituted, part of what he did was he realized that there was a need for prison ministry as a Muslim. He figured that out. And what do you see that really runs rampant in our prisons today? And people are shocked. They're like, oh, the behavior's completely changed. Oh, they're going to be a great member of society. It's because of the discipline, the rigidity of what their scriptures teach. But you have to be careful, because not all change is good change. And you have to check the seed of it, the fruit. And what Allie's saying is that the fruit of that book is not something that's built off of peace. It's not something that's built off of assimilation. It's not something that's built off of you do your thing, I'll do mine. It is a book of force.
Yes.
And it's militant.
Yep. Oh,
we have a pastor surprise from Zach. Yay. Let's do it.
Let's go.
But you're only 1% of this nation. We are not a nation of Muslims. We are a nation of Christians. We are one nation under God, indivisible, the God of the Bible, the God of the Lord Jesus Christ. That's the God in whom we serve. I want you to prove to me we're not up under Sharia law. Will you denounce, Councilman O'Reilly? Will you denounce Sharia law? Will you denounce Sharia law? I know you won't. Will you denounce Sharia law? Abraham, you went to Hillsdale. Will you renounce Sharia law? Will you renounce Sharia law? America, we have lost this city. This is a city that is no longer up under American laws. We are up under Sharia law, and we will not have it anymore. Enough is enough.
Wow. I can't remember that pastor's. Yeah, I can't remember that pastor's name right now. It escapes me. Yes. So that is Pastor Lorenzo Sewell. We've actually met him. He's great, an amazing pastor. I'm so glad that he is visiting these churches and he's in these Muslim overrun states and cities where he's actually bringing truth, and that's fantastic. Thank you so much for that.
But pastors, get out there and go to your city commission meetings. Go to your school board meetings. We need to hear your voice.
Yeah, why are you not? Why are you not?
Well, I can tell you the pastors that would come to our school board meetings when they were under an old majority, which is about to be reseated, they got a lot of pushback. I mean, I don't think it scared any of them off really, but people, I mean,
Okay,
listen,
if you're a
we
pastor and you're
have,
following Jesus Christ and
we
you are
would have,
up, you should probably find a different way of doing something in your life. Like you
we
need to find
have people that would do seances and like cast spells on these pastors that would come to speak. I mean, you know, you plead the blood of Jesus and it's got no effect.
right, you're
But
protected by
I'm
blood,
just saying
so it don't
that's
matter.
how, but that's how it is, you know. And so when you're coming up under that kind of attack, people are quick to turn away. Somebody that's not quick to turn away, just this young guy, man, Nick Shirley. So I did get I got a text today that the Nick Shirley Act. Hold on, let me pull it up. Remember, we told you guys this is something that the California Assembly was taking up. Basically, just not that long ago, the California legislature formally passed all the way through both branches the Stop Nick Shirley Act. Now it's going to Newsom's desk for signature. The bill will criminalize Nick Shirley and others from going around and confronting fraudsters while recording them and posting it online, especially immigrant locations. California, what the hell? They can do this, but they can't get IDs for voting.
Shows you where their priorities are. I mean, none of this makes any sense. And this is why we need to get back to common sense, because this is like quite literally
when
how
common
you
sense
lose
isn't so
America.
common.
Yeah, well, it's how you lose America.
Yep. Well, guys, Nick Shirley, you would think this is the thing they're pushing back on when he goes on the streets of California. But put the kiddies away. Don't let this be in the earshot of them. But this is what the California State Assembly Chief of Staff in Sacramento did and confronted Nick Shirley with. Take a look.
Did you guys hear that Nick Shirley has a small penis, allegedly?
Wow, that's so adult of you.
Did you hear about this? Nick Shirley allegedly has a small penis. Well, I don't know. This is what they're reporting. Have you seen this?
Well, the reports are wrong.
They're reporting. Well, we don't know. Prove me wrong.
No, I'm not. I don't do that.
Prove me wrong. It was good enough for Charlie Kirk. Prove me wrong.
You don't want to do that.
Well, if you consent.
I mean, we are in California. They do support pedophiles.
I think you're over 18. So there are news reports happening that Nick Shirley has a small penis. Do you have any comment on Nick Shirley's allegedly small
comes
penis?
out here.
Alleged small penis.
It's risky for him to be out here. He could be banned or criminalized. You know.
Exactly.
So,
I don't think does having a small penis, is that a criminal? Are you going to introduce that legislation, Assembly member?
Hey, sir, well, to look at your penis, you'd have to lift up your fat to even look at it. So
I'm out,
you should work on that before you allege somebody else about their own penis.
Thank you so much.
I'm packing. I don't know what to say here on YouTube, but I'm doing just fine.
What? I don't even.
The fuck
I
did
don't
I
even
just
know.
watch? I'm. First of all, who gives a crap? I don't care. Number one.
Yes.
Number two, why is that the first thing that you go to, legislature or legislator, when he's exposing the fact that you are trying to abolish the First Amendment in your state and make it more difficult for fraud to be exposed? Like, that's what you go to? Tell me you're
Right,
not.
like you
tell
had
me
the
you're
first-
guilty without telling me you're not guilty. I mean, you're guilty. That you know
Your-
what I'm trying to say. This
Your
is stupid.
First Amendment, yes, your First Amendment right to come up to him on the street. Apparently, first of all, how is that not harassment? Can you do that in the workplace? Like, no.
Sexual
so to
harassment.
come there and use his First Amendment to do that, but yet at the same time be taking away independent journalists' First Amendment right to expose fraud. And I think that listen, California is the state of being pedophile friendly. I just, when he was like, prove me wrong. It worked for Charlie Kirk. Like, what? Do you see, you guys? They are not. Did you see that it's not a Broadway play. It's a play that's been circulating. There's a clip where they have somebody that's dressed up like Charlie Kirk. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
It's sick. Like, there's a new level of sickness. Are you okay out there? Thermometer check.
That was definitely out of pocket. But very, very inappropriate and extremely childish. But again, it's California and they play by different sets of rules. I do think it was maybe a little bit of a mistake for for Nick Shirley to kind of fall into that little trap there. But again, we need to make the focus what the issue is. The issue is there's fraud that is rampant in that state, and there is a legislature that has conflict of interest with the AG. The person that has created the bill has conflict of interest with the attorney general, who is supposed to again go after fraud, and she is intentionally making it more difficult with the bill that she's pushed forward. That is the topic of the issue. That's the issue. Sexual body parts, not an issue. I don't think anybody really cares. I mean, Nick Shirley, good for you. Congratulations. Hope your girlfriend's right. Don't care.
Yes, can we? And this is, well, that's why I felt like it was so out of pocket. You guys had to see they're not at all concerned with your First Amendment right out there in California. This
so
is
childish. Like, how old is this guy? Like, he looks like he's damn near in his 40s, but he's like acting like he's 12. Like, that's some shit you do in like middle school. Like, can we knock it off? What are we doing?
Old enough to know better. Clearly. Well, guys, that is it for us here on Out of Pocket with Allie and Michelle. We hope you've gotten a little bit of substance here, as well as a little bit of scratching your head for the rest of the day, going, what the actual bleep did I watch today? And that's how the left is, unhinged and uncommon. Make common sense great again.
Something. Make insane asylums great again. But that also makes me nervous. Anyway, thanks for joining.
Who do you think they're going to send there? Yeah, no, just kidding.
You and I, if a Democrat gets in office, because
would you
people
go?
decide not to vote?
But would you go?
Hell no. They would have to give me. They would have to put me to sleep. I'm
asking our viewers, if you and I were, if we were in an insane asylum, who's going with us?
No, we're gonna have people that be like, I'm scared, I'm not gonna go. We got pastors terrified to show up at school board meetings because of the curses that you cover by the blood of Jesus. If you ain't got no faith, you have no reason leading a pack of sheep. I'm sorry. You better go find something else to do.
You guys so much. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back here Monday, guys. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow at Real Allie Lachey, at Michelle Posey, and at Out of Pocket on all social media platforms. Thank you, Talk Red, and thank you, Zach and Drew. Until next time, Allie, I guess we keep that mic open.
And stay out of pocket, just not inappropriately. It's debatable. Guys. We love y'all. See you soon.
Two queens, no filter. Say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real.